Hey, cuties! Welcome back to another playthrough of Tokyo After Governors. Today we're going to be looking at Summerpool Twilight's reprint. After 3 years, we are finally seeing its translation, and hopefully we'll be catching up because it seems that there has been a bunch of translated content in the data mine, including for a bunch of units from events that have not actually translated yet. But yeah, maybe that's a bit speculative on my part right now. Let's go ahead and hop right in and see the new content. As per usual, let me know if there's anything wrong with the sound or video, but I will presume there's nothing. But let's go ahead and review the itinerary. Hey, Drunk! Good morning! Love Drunk. Alright, so first off the list is going to be a review of the Transient summons, as well as Gorozaemon, who is in the shop, and the equips. You want to redo your vote? Can you not back away from your vote? Whoops. I didn't realize that your there's no take backsies on these votes. Oh, thanks, Lynn. Yeah, I got a new haircut. Usually I just cut along and then I tie my hair in a specific way, but you know, I was just like, you know, I just recently turned a certain age. I'm like, maybe I should embrace my age more and try something, you know, a bit different. Something shorter that doesn't require my hair to be tied all the time. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop right in to the Transient page. Did you see most events released before you got their bios translated? Yes, I did mention that in passing. That's interesting. Maybe that means they're going to do a rush of translations. They are surprisingly behind right now in terms of 3 years. At some point a long time ago, they're behind only by 2 years. So I can only like cope right now that that's a sign that they're going to be releasing the translations in their newest quality of life feature, such that they can eventually catch up. Who knows? We'll just have to see. I mean, that new game, Wolfia XXL, came and apparently has the largest player base out of all gate gachas already. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but it definitely has the largest community already. It kind of eclipses the Discord server for English, in very least, by a factor of like 3 or 4. But yeah, let's not talk about that game. I'm not going to be streaming it because, not that I dislike it or anything, but it's kind of unstreamable. So we are gonna review these topics first off the bat. Let's start with the equips, actually. Actually, I forgot which I put in my list, so we'll just start with whatever's in my list here. We're gonna be talking about these two summons. This one is returning, which has a few limited units, Jormungandr, as well as the variants for Oz, Yamasachihiko, Smoky God, and Hercules. You can see there's no actual permanent units in this banner. And we also have a banner for the equips, which may feature some things in event and may feature things outside of event, but to have the featured characters. So let's go ahead and first off the bat talk about... Ooh, this is a wrong slideshow. This one right here. Let's go ahead and talk about... actually, none of these. We're going to talk about the new seasonal booster that released for the 8 Dog Warriors. So this one is equipable on the 8 Dog Warriors themselves, as well as Shino, who is part of that affiliation as well. And Slash and Snipe units. It's a situational AR in terms of utility. It's pretty good for its situationalness. It's not a bad rate for 40% per buff to bestow crit to allies. You'll want to equip this on units that already have that sort of effect, at least for challenges, where they want a lot of buffs to activate their other things, such as CP fillers for their entire team or charge fillers, namely Masashi, since he is, you know, the quintessential unit in terms of who can equip this. You will also want to, of course, bring this for any seal farms, since it does boost seals. So very interesting stuff. But yeah, moving on to the actual feature topics. By the way, just get this in Unvarnished Shop if you don't know. For the rest, we can talk about the equips. Starting with the 3-star one. It's a bad AR, Oz one. It's like not even guaranteed. A low rate of CP, low anchor, advantage, or whatever. It's not good. Let's forget about it. 3 stars garbage. What's new? The 4-star ARs look gorgeous, which you can confirm yourself if you get them. The effects themselves are not that impressive, but remove debuff per enemy hit could be decent for anyone that can hit a lot of times, such as Echo's base version, or even like her variant, to be honest, as well as Heracles' variant, who has that house combination range. CP is not guaranteed and it's also low, so that's just the downgrade from a lot of the other CP to self effects. The other 4-star is going to be also another beautiful looking one, the the Yamasachihiko Smoky God one, and this one has some healing on phase start and dazzle to enemies whenever they hit. So that does a bit of a tank healing utility. It's not great. The art's gorgeous though. As for the 5 stars, we have for the Fushi Smoky God one that is able to let you deal extra damage to enemies, or rather they will take extra damage as long as they're skill locked. This can also skill lock, but only after you're hit, so this is not exactly something you can immediately take advantage of. It'll last for 5 turns per phase, it's guaranteed, but 2,000 extra damage isn't anything to write home about. That's just like, a bit over spirit or something. It's I guess it could work if you're doing some combo strategy, but yeah, this is definitely something you'll most likely only use in like skirmish maps, because 2K there's like more accessible ways to do it, and if you're skill locking them, then the enemy probably didn't need that much effort to defeat in first place, because if they're skill lock resistant, those are usually the kind that have a lot of HP. And even if they do have a lot of HP, again, that's like 2K is not gonna be a lot in comparison to their full HP pool. Not a good equip in terms of effects, but the art is quite gorgeous, except for that stank ass background, which is just a direct copy paste of the visual novel Shankuro background. So unfortunate about that, because the animated scene between Fushi and Smoky God is fantastic. Chapter 12 with 2 world representatives going at it, absolutely like Keaton right there. And then they died right after, which is very sad. The last equip of the bunch is going to be the Nourishment Advantage AR. Note, this does not make you stronger if you have Nourishment. It makes you stronger against Nourishment. So, actually, that's not true. It gives you the advantage. Actually, that is true. Yeah, it's a weird effect. But essentially, all your teammates as well as the equipper get advantage against Nourishment, which means even if you have Nourishment, you're not going to be stronger. The only units that can really bestow Nourishment to the enemy, off the top of my head, is going to be Perron's base version. I forget if he does that on his variant as well. He might, but I don't really think anyone else bestows Nourishment to the enemy. I don't know, maybe Kimun Kami, I don't know. But it's not a great error. Yeah, let's go ahead and check out these topics here. Yeah, you can see at least the art looks quite gorgeous. I know that a lot of people, including myself, don't really care about the characters themselves for many aspects, at least not in the total simp Kuma brain mode. But I think Smoky God hard carries all the art he's in, because he's just like, no matter what art he's in, Smoky God just like, he's just, God, he's like a male model, for lack of better words. He has like infinite riz. Like, not my body type, but like every time I see Smoky God, I'm like, wow, like I'm changing my sexuality to bar chaser. What the fuck? Or muscle chaser. But yeah, the other ARs, the Echo Heracles one is probably the most gorgeous in terms of composition and art. Although I do think Echo's a bit off model, it still looks fantastic there, even if you just pretend she's not Echo, like some random Fire Emblem character. The other 2 ARs between Oz and Volstaslav is not great. Volstaslav is like okay, but in terms of proportions, it just doesn't have great lighting, given it's at nighttime and there's a lot of artificial lighting. It looks like they're lit by daylight. And the Oz one is just Mensuke effect. Let's not talk about that any further. I am going to read the chat a bit before I continue. Ready Dog AR in time for a Blue Archive stream release. It's cause Summer Oz and Jormungandr are already real good at generating CP, so this is a good the consolation prize, I suppose. Smoky God and Yamasachihiko in the 4-star AR looks so handsome. That's insane. Yeah, seriously, that's like the best looking art in terms of like absolute Riz incarnate. And then deleted something, but maybe I can see it in the playback. We need a 5-star AR ticket, so many pretty ARs we can't really get. Well, these are optional in the end, so whatever. Got 4-star and 3-star ARs, so you're fine for now. Yeah, as long as you get the 4-star ARs, it's like those are the prettiest, even if they don't have the best effects. In my opinion, anyways. Maybe you guys have like men's gay syndrome. Not for me though, not for me. I read Peron this morning. His variant does not, but his base does on move. Okay, thank you for confirming, Jerbear. So keep that in mind. Also have everyone but Heracles on his banner, just from ruling for Oz all those years ago. Yeah, I don't have Heracles either, and I also don't have Yamasachihiko. Unfortunately, I'll have to borrow a Yama from support, which will be kind of hard to find, but that's because he's going to be receiving an Evo along with a few other units. SG is Dapper, Smoky God is Dapper, and a Joji character who are always aesthetically pleasing, for sure. Smoky God Party, this is the Smoky God banner, guys. It's like, you got, peak Smoky God equips, you got, peak Heracles / slightly off-ball Echo, and then you got, like, this bargain bin of other equips. Smoky God is just there to have a pretty face, and just kind of hot base. Yeah, absolutely. He's not my body type, he's not, like, somebody I look for, expletives of, but he is, like, every time I see him, just, like, my mouth starts to water. No. He's really good at playing up what he does have. Let's just say that. I'm not going to be using stones for this. I will just be using my AR tickets. I only like the art for the 4 stars, and maybe the Ushi Smoky God one if it weren't for that background. But I don't care about any of the, what's it called, the effects whatsoever. None of them. So we are going to maybe pull 6 to 8 tickets, depending on how I feel. Again, my target are the 4 stars and maybe the Smoky Fushi one, but and we're just pulling for boost, it doesn't matter in the end. Alright, let's do this. Alright, hopefully it's on banner. Maybe I was hoping too much. Get out of here. Ever feel like you got like a bunch of 4 stars in a row for no reason? I was trying to pull for Unicula last night, and there was just like a couple of 4 stars out of nowhere. Okay. Wait, did that always have that scribbling photo of sound effect? It's a bit uncanny. I know 3 stars don't have any sort of sound normally, so I can only assume that's a new effect. So, snapshot jump scare. It's kind of cursed, to be honest. Alright, let's continue. I already lost count at how much I've pulled. And now the Mensuke AR's haunting me after I, like, fucking smack-talked it. Like, I'm, like, getting more than 4 stars than 3 stars here. That's what it means, like... Hey, the ultimate Riz AR. It's time to undress myself and give myself a Smoky God. Alright. My hair is kind of whack. Thank you, headphones. Alright, so let's continue. Very cool. So I'm gonna be maybe considering putting that in my home screen because it does just look really good. We are going to go ahead and observe the next last pull, because I don't care about these equips effects. It would be nice to get some of them for art, but... Okay, we're out of here. At least this is a good equip. Do I want to pull 2 more? Not really. Whatever, I'm out. Okay, I'm gonna go read the next topic in the itinerary right now. I backed out too fast. I need to review the units. Alright. So, the units are returning, and some of them have received evolutions. Let's go ahead and review them right now, actually. So Gorozaemon is not actually on his banner. You can redeem them from the item exchange for this event. You are going to need to pull, or rather play the event a bit to get enough resources to get them. However, most of you who played this event when it first printed probably already have them. So this evolution just gives them a better range for their move disabling effects, including a break, which is nice. Nullify debuff, so I guess they'll be more resistant to, reflect debuff stuff. And, on top of that, they can also increase that movement restriction with Madness. It's a bit redundant. It doesn't really change if you'll use Gorozaemon or not. It's there. I'm gonna have to think about it if there's any reason to use them later. Next off the bat is base Oz. So this is not an evolution for pool Oz. God help us if we ever receive that. But yeah, Oz is a unit who, had that effect of having Berserk Strengthening on his last evolution, and he can inflict both flat as well as scaling damage. So he was a mixed damage dealer. He did need to be hit though for that sort of effectiveness. On top of that, you can now receive some additional defensiveness because that Berserk didn't necessarily complement well with him wanting to be hit. So he has protection on top of tenacity now on self, which is nice. And he can now spread Glint to himself and allies. That's new, as well as a dazzle effect. So double mitigation, that is brand new. It's for a single unit, it's a good amount of mitigation. However, keep in mind it's still mostly selfish. Only the dazzle is to allies now. But yeah, let's continue. Next off is Yamasachihiko's Bull variant. He received an evolution that lets him bestow concentration board wide and bestow Glint to allies, which is kind of whatever. But I guess those are just like a combination of effects that lets him increase the rate of his allies. So that's okay, I guess. And he now has one additional way of bestowing Ardor to his allies when his charge is fully up. He already bestowed it on hit, but now he can do it at move phase end if his CP is 100. It's kind of whatever. This says, yes, his variant, his pool variant, not his base variant. This says Yamasachihiko. You can see the icon in the top left right there, the pool variant. What I think about this is it doesn't really change how often you'd use him. He's kind of just like he does a bit of everything, except for defense anyways. But yeah, he kind of just stands there menacingly, gives a few different amps to his eyes, and now he gives a few different rate ups as well. Base Oz is just better at doing what he was already doing, which is very niche. You see that because you're coping. This is fine. I see. Alright, we're going to be talking about the last evolution of this batch, because poor Heracles was left in the dust here. So it seems that Jormungandr received an evolution. It's giving Ulaanbaatar, or rather, it's giving Ulaanbaatar's last evolution. His base version got an evolution now. Just let him more reliably have that CP or charge fell to allies after being buffed. His is not so dramatic. It's only a plus 10% activation rate increase whenever he has the wall status, which will last for the first 5 turns. He can refresh it now, which is on move phase end. However, that wall strike thing for that rate up effect will only last for 11 turns, or rather 10 turns total. So in effect, that means his after buff CP to allies and himself is guaranteeable now. It was at 80%. You skill seed him, you give him that wall strengthening effect, and now he can guaranteeably give 10 CP for every buff he receives to both himself and allies adjacent. My main issue was why I don't usually use Jormungandr is a bit limited range with only to adjacent, but the fact that it's guaranteeable might make him more usable, just like Ulaanbaatar. He also did receive a spread twist tenacity effect, which was previously only to himself, and he now is also able to apply tenacity instantly to all allies, which is also a new effect. So a bit more utility as a tank for his allies, not just a selfish tank, because selfish tanks are one of the most questionable roles in this game. It's especially if they can't solo carry. I mean, I guess Yadam can win, but if you move him, then he loses a lot of those effects. So anyways, I've yapped on long enough. Let's get out of here. Spoiler alert, I'm not pulling for this banner. I do not want Yamasachihiko that badly, and I already have a Smokey and Oz and Jormungandr. I do not use these. However, I would recommend for anyone who has not ever pulled any of these units before to definitely pull for Oz and maybe Smokey God. They're definitely I found them incredibly helpful in the long term, both of them. Oz especially, of course. Do I even need to explain why Oz is amazing? Because he's just fucking lets you board wipe with any sort of thing, including your allies that like inflict rare, like low range debuffs like countdown or skill lock or all this stuff. Just skill lock the board entirely, charm the board entirely. You can do that with Oz. Smoky God has been incredibly helpful too, just because he just has a bunch of healing utility and defensive utility and like gut spamming. I don't know. He just like this whole grab bag of things. Anyways, very, very good banner. But the only downside of it is everyone here kind of reprinted 10 billion times between the 3 years of its originally release and today. So, there's a good chance that you don't have a reason to pull for it today. Okay. With that said, let's go ahead and review the actual skill evolution quests. I don't have all of them unlocked because I don't have Yama, but we'll go ahead and do them with, starting with Jormungandr. Hercules will receive his Evo one day, trust. We will see. Alright, let's go ahead and find someone with an ally link boost or some shit like that, I don't know. You there. SP and Vari, not really. And we'll go ahead and select this team right here, which is currently boosting for ally points. So let's go ahead and see how unchallenging this evolution quest will be. You're hoping they flattened the rerun event quests like they did for new semester and last event. Yeah, I was hoping so too, but this was 100% in line with what I expected, even if it's not what I was hoping for. They have the quests, they're not going to bother making new quests because, kind of lazy. But it's fine, I guess. It would be nice to have less quests and to have those defensive quests as well. But, I don't know. Let's just have the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're too busy translating all the other events instantly, because that's what all those translations to characters seem to be implying. Alright, Mirage of the Dark Lord, Challenge 1. We are going to be doing Gorozaemon's quest now. You guess those only apply to new events? Yeah, I mean, more like new events starting with the last event we just had. Alright, let's go ahead and toss in Gorozaemon. I guess this is just a bunch of people from Wano Kuni, or whatever it's called. Hey, oddly rival. Did you not say hi early on? Hold on. I'm hallucinating. I saw Orion and I was just like, oh, it's the person with the O. Hey, oddly rival, good to see you. Yoma Gaming happened. The stat translation is slow, especially Christmas ones. Yeah, we are quite behind on those ones, unfortunately. Alright, last challenge quest, last HDQ for today. Last evolution quest, I correct myself to the exact same thing. We are going to finish off with Oz, and then we're going to go check out the challenges. Just got here, you're at work. I see. Alright, nothing to write home about, just use Housamo or something like that. We are now going to try out the Height of Requests, which honestly, I did not look up what they were, I forgot what they are, so I'm just gonna go off of my memory right now. Oh yeah, Gochko was there, what was up with that? Alright, so this is... I do not remember the fucking Summer Pool Twilight quests at all, so... I could try to make something fun, but... And I do not even remember. Just like throw some random divine unit. Yeah, because those are always fun to bring. Alright, Chino, maybe this time you'll be not useless. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go. So cool. Yummy. Let me give you a better equip though. Freeze. Yes, carbuncle is Chilean, very important. We're doing it. Okay.
そうだ。この先もまた一歩一歩進んでいきな。
Like 2020, Christmas is still not translated. Maybe this year it will change, but we will see. Whatever, let's just use them again. We got a skill evolution. I just did the quest right now, but to review, it was... What was it? Gorozaemon, Jormungandr, Oz's base version, and Yamasachihiko's cool variant. I'm doing it. Just making sure these guys actually have their guts. What the heck? Good game. Christmas Showdown is probably jamming up with the Christmas translations. What's with its 2 set of story quests? It's not that difficult to translate, alright? Let's not give Lifeforms the benefit of the doubt here. If it's like... If they're taking a while, it's because they're just choosing to do other things. Before it was like their quality of life things. Maybe it's just like now that they're done that, they're doing the kits, which they just finished, and now maybe they'll do the translations. I don't even know. But it is not that difficult to translate that thing. There have been harder translation projects like The Last Defense Academy. Have you seen that game? That game has like 100 different endings, and that's been translated to several languages. Like, the fuck is that? Also, thanks for being frozen. Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. I forgot how this guy works. What's his gimmick? Does he have a damage check or something? I might just be forgetting. Uh-oh. It's not working. He's healing too fast. Okay, there's a damage check here that we're not passing. I vaguely remember if you don't pass a certain damage range, he just starts healing and things. Okay, well, he just ran out of his, Okay. Divine Units! Amazing. Okay, fuck this. We got a better idea than this shit. Let's do some gaming. Epic gamer moment. Gaming. Gaming. I don't have anyone else set up, unfortunately. So we're gonna game instead with gamer moment. And we're gonna do one final gamer moment. Gaming. Right. I don't know if you guys recognize what I'm doing here. If you guys actually know what I'm doing here, then no. You know units, I guess. I don't fucking know what would be good on him.
相変わらず才能あるクリエイターは美しい。荒くね、君が秋葉原ギルドにいること僕は嬉しく思うよ。ベタ褒めされると逆に不安になりますわね。よくってよ。
They should
デ
be
ュアリ
fine.
ングさん、私の美をとくとご覧あれ。
Percent damage comp? Yeah, that's exactly it. We'll see how effective it is, though.
弱々すぎ、弱々すぎ、弱い。
Can he fucking not? Alright, let's do this instead, I guess.
弱々すぎ、弱々すぎ。壁よ、壁よ。ザークザー。
Yeah. Can you stop putting weird debuffs on me?
弱々すぎ。
Alright, there you go. Bye, Jormungandr. It's nice knowing you. Laters, tata. Okay, that was excessive. Dividing units? Who needs that?
俺たち大金持ちさ。なあ。
Alright, cool game. Yeah, so the rest is not gonna be that interesting, so feel free to chat with me in the meantime. Let's actually go ahead and receive our mission rewards as well as our login items. I believe there might be some interesting login items here. So, as we can see here, we finally have the Talisman Fragment system implemented. Well, I think it was implemented last time, but I didn't pull. So yeah, if you want your Talisman Fragments from your failed pulls last time, you need to redeem them here in the mailbox. And we are now going to do the boring part of this. I just realized that's Irby. Hi, Irby. It'd be funnier with just Summer Oz and Josie Devil. I guess, I don't know. I feel like Oz is not exactly the best partner. I mean, he's a pretty, obviously a great partner with Josie Devil, but what's it called? I don't know. It's like if he's not great for a double Josie Devil, maybe. All right, let's go ahead and what's it called? I already forgot what I'm doing here. Let's just go ahead and see the what's it called units here. All right, we got Irby. Let's do this. Thank you, Irby. The teams will not have to change at all. And our event bonus is going to be quite high. So just to remind you guys, the season booster does actually increase the drop bonus here. Not any of the equips. I forgot to equip the shits. All right, let's do that right now. I don't even know what they are equipable on. Can you get a filter for the event, please? There you go. Let's see. Slash, long slash, Yama, Smoking God.
Yoku kita ne. いや、待たされてなどいないと思う。こぼれ落ちてしまいそうな心の高ぶりが冷めるまでもう少し時間が欲しいと思っていたくらいさ。
心の準備ができとらんのか。
I only got 2 equips, right? I'm pretty sure I only got 2.
なら兄貴分としておいが手本を見せよう。
Almost 1 ticket's worth. Wow. You know, are good at farming. Good quick farming. I mean, yeah, this is not gonna be a hard event to farm either way. The events have not been hard to farm since over 4 or 5 years, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. There is an attack bonus for the units, in case you had any doubts that units would be strong enough. Can you calm the fuck down?
豪快な食いっぷりじゃ。漁師冥利に。
Perhaps Jormungandr was not a good. Actually, never mind. His police would be equally as though.
豪快な食いっぷりじゃ。フィニッシュ。
素晴らしいダンスをありがとう。少しはしゃいでしまったかもだが、今宵ばかりは多めに見てくれ。
Let's go ahead and switch these two actually. Challenge. How many Jormungandr skill activation codes can you hear in one turn? I mean, that's just how it's gonna be whenever you use one of those after buff units. Big fan. My biggest, rather, my prime unit for that is going to be Inaba, as a lot of you should know. Jormungandr is technically better in rates, it's just he doesn't have the most forgiving of ranges only to adjacent. There's also Igornak, who has the exact same rate as Inaba but has slightly less range. Kind of like between Yarm and Inaba. There's quite a few others. Masashi has a good range as well as a good amount given. It's just his thing is problematic because he only has like a coin flip range. Oh, ew. It's all range, or rather, it's a white map. Oh yeah, most recently there was Ulaanbaatar's. I mean, I guess he was always one, but now he's just far better with his evolution that makes his thing guaranteeable for the first 2 turns. So, not nearly as much as Jormungandr here, which lasts for like 5, potentially up to 10 turns. But still quite effective for the other effects he has going on too. I believe he just also gives more CP than Yarm. Oh yeah, Ino gives slightly more too, I believe. At least himself. Were there always this many quests? This feels like a slog. I don't remember there being this many quests. I'm already sick of it. Ay, caramba. Alright. Hopefully Oz is strong enough to hit the Giga. Okay, very good. So, for those that have already started the story, let me know your general thoughts on it so far. Like, if the story is good or kind of giving, you know, filler. I honestly don't even remember what the people were saying about this event. I mean, I think Jormungandr is an interesting unit to be adding, considering he's from Fkadr world. I did hear from Irby in passing kind of spoiler things about how he's not really the same, but I don't know what that means. I'll just have to find out. But yeah, if you have any like general sentiments on it, I'd be interested in hearing. Didn't they add some new ones in terms of quests? They did not add any new ones, to my knowledge, for these drop quests. Rather, they're using the old ones, which is just innumerable. Too innumerable. Damn, not even letting go to show off their skill evolution. I mean, it's not necessary. Or hitting everyone anyways, perfectly fine. There you go, skill evolution. They're doing it. Yeah. Hitting dead people. God love it.
ガブリと行かれちまったな。感想はどうだ。悪趣味だって？へ、まあな。
Read it on 2022, and you can say it's a fun event. The plot may not be your favorite, but you had fun time, so you find merit in that. Okay. It seems kind of like a random grab bag of event units between like some random rule maker, Gorozaemon from who knows where, Yamasachihiko, who's not even canonically Housamo originally, and like bumfuck Yama, who is not with Otohime and kind of like was just Yama's not actually Yama, right? He's like the shadow of Yama or something like that. This cast is quite random. You haven't read the event story yet, but Smoky God is probably your favorite rep in terms of characters. So excited to read the story. Oh yeah, for sure. Out of all the reps, I'm pretty sure Yamasachihiko, no sorry, I'm pretty sure Smoky God is still the only one that's just like, I want to kill the main character, I want to kill protagonist. I realized that's some like sort of, you know, how dare you, or you know, like Michael feeling regretful, or you know, Amaterasu being bound by obligation. But Smoky God is like, kill this bitch, which is kind of intense. Yo, go to Zion. Let's see if you can actually hit anyone. Nope. Okay, we're done with that. Let's go ahead and check out the other half. So interesting. You want to learn more about Jormungandr, see how he fits in the Housamo lore. Same. I can barely remember what happened in the original Fkadr story. Not the original, but more like the Fkadr crossover. I believe it was mostly just a rehash of the very first Fkadr event, with replacing some characters with others. And then, I don't know, Necros was talking out of his ass about it's somehow being different or something, I don't know. Well, Fushi also wanted to protect the protagonist, but in really wrong way. Yeah, I mean, the way he wanted to protect it wasn't even, like, particularly novel. He was just like, oh, let's just get away here and the rest of our lives here. In Shangri-La, or it technically wasn't Shangri-La, it was some like facsimile of it. Facsimile? Yeah, facsimile. But yeah, that was why are these two in the last phase? It was pretty much the same thing that Festos want to do.
玉じゃなかったの。次はもっと骨のあるやつがいいね。なあ、お前様。
But yeah, Jormungandr's role, I'm gonna be guessing, is maybe not directly tied to Fkadr, despite having the exact design. I believe, what's it called? I don't know where I was going there. I was gonna talk about someone, but I was like, no, that has to do with Gordon Aegir. Apparently Aegir has Gordon's sacred artifact from the original Fkadr game, which is peculiar. And that's why he was given a visor and became a null type unit instead for Fkadr 2. But in the original story of Fkadr, Jormungandr admittedly was pretty much a side character. He does give you some useful things, like you know, very seductive reefs or whatever that gives you the ability to, I don't know, swim underwater or breathe underwater. I don't know. And then he has his own side arc that is optional that you can do, and then Fkari that lets you, you know, sort of romance him. He has this hubris of a dragon that lives forever. In terms of, you know, he's one of the good ones in terms of just like all the other dragons kind of hate humans' asses there and feel like superior to them. But Jormungandr tries to live like a human life and lives among them because he finds them so nice and all that. But you know, he has like anxieties about that's explored of like if he's just posing on that and still acting haughty and high and mighty against them, saying like, oh, you know, I'm one of them, but you know, like I don't actually want to be in their level. And then like at one point in the story, Jormungandr is put in a very vulnerable situation where he loses his dragon powers, with Yuji right there due to some sort of a scale that robs people of their powers, and lets the other person take it over, some sort of scale of like, you know, love abuse or something like that. You know, Yuji's like, without dropping a beat, just like, oh yeah, let's give him back his powers. It's like he's in danger, right? And Jormungandr kind of had like a bit of an episode there where he felt weird being around Yuji, because he's a very horny character in Fkari, sleeping around with men and all that, and taking pride in, I don't know, looking up the sweat off their bodies. You know, and he believes he's fully human, but when the chips are down, he kind of felt like extreme fear when it came to, you know, being vulnerable around another human. And that was like the first time he was able to confront that feeling of, you know, not just being vulnerable about someone, but someone, you know, not just abusing that. Yuji, aka the hero. And then he actually just ends up, you know, despite being like this complete hornball, ends up being super tsundere towards the hero, because, you know, he actually, you know, treated him with not respect of a dragon, but, you know, the obvious respect that a friend should treat a friend. It was disarming, to say the least, there. But yeah, it's still ultimately just a side story. In the final battle, he's kind of just like not there. I don't know what Jormungandr is doing that time. It's a good story. Everyone should read Fkari if they can. Maybe when we're counting this, you guys are just like completely lost in it. But yeah, you can find the full Fantastic Boyfriend story translated in subtitles in Irby, aka Nametaker's channel. With that said, because he's such a side character in that, you know, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing here in the Housamo world. I was literally just showing up because Amaterasu didn't want to attend. Is that really why he's in this event? Well, I can see that. Well, Fushi also wanted to protect the protagonist, but in the wrong way. I already read that. I'm really interested in Mephistopheles' lore and what his deal with us is. Were you the one who was talking about Mephistopheles in the server earlier? In any case, did I do this one already? This seems familiar. Mephistopheles is... he's the deal maker in his original story. From some sort of German tale. In relation to some character. The guy who went down the circles of hell, I believe. I forgot what his name is, though. Has anyone pointed out how the AR featuring Jormungandr is unlimited? Will feature... oh yeah, that's kind of a big deal, isn't it? Faust. Yeah, that's it. I forgot the exact deal he made with Faust. Or maybe he was... the idea is he's not actually the devil or anything like that. Rather, he's like an agent of the devil. He's there on behalf of him. He's not necessarily a bad guy. He just, you know, he feels regret about the thing he's doing. But, you know, he's just like has to do it. He's not actually trying to tempt them. He's just offering it on behalf of the devil himself. And in terms of how that plays out in this story... I mean, I have no idea who the fuck Salmonis is, or rather, you know, little Solomon. But it does seem like Looks like Shan stopped playing with that. Both Salmon and what's called Mephistopheles represent some kind of a partnership with power over demons. In Mephistopheles' case, he's like an agent to like, you know, give anyone the power on behalf of the devil. And in the, you know, Little Solomon's case, seems like he's the agent of, you know, King Solomon himself, perhaps, who was able to control demons and have them do their bidding. So there's like a tangential connection there. And maybe there's even a lore connection there. I wouldn't be able to confirm that though, in terms of if there's a Centeny? I'm not sure if Centeny is the right word. Probably not. But you know, there's some sort of like lineage in mythological connection between at least some of the characters in the Ars Goetia and the creatures mentioned in the Bible and the Apocrypha related to Christianity. That's a lot of big words I just used. Was a deal of information you forgot? Yeah, it should have been. Like, I believe Faust just wanted, like, to know all about the world or something like that. Mephistopheles won your soul because he got played by Faust in the opera, and the devils don't like getting played like that. That's not what I remember reading, but... Okay. One thing that intrigues you is Kyuma and his relationship with David. Mostly because how that does tie back to Kyuma, if at all. I suppose. I'm not sure if, you know, Kyuma is any of the wiser to that. It doesn't seem like any of the Yoyogi members are any of the wiser to their myth. Also, Mephistopheles knows about Little Solomon, and Little Solomon took his form. Is that how it is? Yeah, I don't know. That's very speculative at this point. Alright. Let's go over here a bit. And, I think that's it for the event. Let me just confirm the itinerary once more. So there are equips, there's evolutions, there are... Wow, there's like... That's it. That's it for this event. It's kind of sad. Mute that shit. Alright. So that is it for my playthrough of the reprint of Summer Pool Twilight. I hope you guys enjoyed this event playthrough. It's had some good art. It had kind of like some awful drop quests. It was like a nice reminder of how much better it is now. Less drop quests. One of the set is actually going to be the endurance ones. Yeah, it's kind of like I was clamoring for reprints all this time, but now that I'm getting them, I'm just like, can we go back? Can we just go back to those other drop quests? I don't want none of that, please. Please, more of the endurance farms. Less of the multiple ones for every level range. Eagle Knock is the full on hog, for sure, yeah. I love Eagle Knock Gummies. Who said that? So, the remainder of the content for this event, what's it going to be? Honestly, like, normally we have a discussion for this event. I have a strong feeling it's going to be extremely hard, if not impossible, to convince anyone to join for this event. Considering the evolutions, like, none of them are particularly spectacular. I'm still going to ask, but don't hold your breath. There might not be a discussion at all for this event, but it's going to be a first. But you know, the ARs are not much to write home about. There's not that many evolutions. It's going to be like a discussion that lasts for less than an hour if it does happen. It's not great. So, you know, put a pin on that. Very unlikely to happen, in my opinion. We'll see, though. And what's it called? Is there going to be any other content for this? Is there going to be a video on this covering the new topics? I don't know, actually. Like, if there's, maybe I'll try, but you know, there's no rush, right? These units, the evolutions, I've covered all these units before. The evolutions don't really change them that much. The rest are just ARs, so like, there's no rush, honestly. Evil R be like, we're going quests for fun, actually. I never said that. The fuck? Put that away. Alright. But yeah. If there's no stream for the discussion, and if there's no video coming out for that, then the only thing remaining is going to be just the playthrough for the event. So look forward to that. I'm probably going to start it tomorrow. Oh, we'll see. I'll have to figure out the details there. But yeah, that's it for today's stream. That's all for now, kitties. Catch you next time.